I don't want to scare anyone, but I'm going to give it to you straight about Jason.
Hello, Sabre Nation. My name's Jay Don't Fade, and this is the Warpath Crossover Podcast. Uh, it's been a rough couple days. It's been a weird couple days. Um, Today was all right though. Because I got something in the mail today, and I'm sure some of my fellow Buffalonians know what I got in the mail today, and that would be this right here. This little bubble mailer, and I get a lot of cards in the mail. I'm a big sports card guy, chasing the Kaprizovs, the Young Guns, most recently. But I got this, and this is from. I don't know if you can see it there. This is from the Buffalo Bills, right? So I was, oh, what could this be? What could it be? Season tickets. The season tickets. It's a good day, right? Have my season tickets. Been a loyal season ticket holder since what is that? 2017. There you go. I got a couple of them. Got 2 season tickets there. It's been a weird day, but this was a nice way to come home and be reminded that not only do we have another professional sports team here in Buffalo, but we have one that takes winning seriously, and that's nice to know because watching the first couple days and really the entire free agency to this point with the Sabres, you wouldn't think so. You'd think you've got a team that is just going to kind of take the young guys they got and throw them to the wolves, and that's kind of what it's been with the goaltending situation at least last year, and probably what's going to be again this year. I don't personally think that UPL is ready to handle a full workload, and people say, "Oh no, but wait, we signed Eric Comrie right from Winnipeg. Yeah, that's a career backup. He has." Less than half a season worth of games career wise. He's got 28 games, I believe, career wise. Decent numbers in those games, but 28 games nonetheless. Not a guy that's going to come in and be able to, win you a ton of games. Of course, maybe a guy that continue to get better. Maybe eventually he's a decent backup, right? But I don't see him as like a franchise starter. I'm not saying we're supposed to go out and get that guy, but go out and get something decent. You have all the money in the world. I mean, you're struggling with the cap floor the last year and this year. Darcy Kemper was available, right? And people say, "Oh, we don't know that he was willing to sign here." That's a load of shit. He's willing to sign here. You have money. Money. That's what it's about. It's jobs for these guys. Yes, they want to win, and of course, I respect that they want to go to certain places. They prefer going to certain places, but it's about money to provide for their family. It's all about contracts, right? That's the drama. Half drama in sports. This guy wants a contract. This guy doesn't want a contract. This guy doesn't want. They all want a contract, but this guy wants a contract. He wants a contract here. He wants to go there. Oh, he wants to be traded because he's not getting a contract here. It almost always comes down to money. We have a lot of it. We're not using it. Two notable signings, Eric Comrie, as I mentioned, and Ilya Labushkin. It's a decent signing. His defenseman not going to do much as far as putting more pucks in the back of the net, but maybe he'll help to keep some out. It's going to obviously be on Eric Comrie as well, and UPL, barring he doesn't get hurt and barring he plays well, of course. It is worth noting that he has performed usually vastly better, I'd say, in the NHL than he has in the lower leagues, AHL, whatnot. He's decent over in Europe. I just don't know, guys. It's been rough. Fan base seems split, to be honest with you. Seems the fan base is probably Half the people are drinking the Kool-Aid and they're, well, let's start there. Half the people are like myself. They're upset. They want to see a winner, right? And I get that you can't rush things, but you can make your team better. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me. You're not rolling the money over. This is not the NFL. You're not taking the excess cap money and rolling it over to next year. You're not doing anything but just not spending the money. It's not even baseball where you're going to pocket the money. And the owner's gonna, and it's like, oh well, at least that makes sense. Like we don't like it, we don't agree with it. It's shitty, but like being a fan of a small market team, right? Like myself, Baltimore Orioles, they pocket money, right? Like the Angelos, the ownership group is pocketing the money since they've been rebuilding, but they're doing something, right? Like their farm system is getting better. Like we have the best farm system in the MLB right now. The Orioles do, and they've gotten better over the last couple of years. And baseball's a much longer sport to progress, but I'd say hockey's probably the second closest. It probably goes baseball with the longest development time, hockey second, and basketball third, and of course football. You could be a first, second, third, fourth, fifth, but you could be undrafted free agent. You might be starting the next year. Who knows? Depending on the team you go to. But we've added this young talent, but you have to infuse veteran or skilled leadership or just skilled talent in general. To get better and to take that next step. And it's not like it's us and everybody else doing this. We're like the only team that is doing this. I mean, there are other teams that are rebuilding or a fringe rebuild or finishing a rebuild, like Columbus. They just added Johnny Gaudreau, the player I wanted. He went to a similar situation, really, in Columbus. They've got some decent young players. They got a decent team, fringe playoff team from year to year, but they want to take that next step and they want to win. That's what it's about. It's about winning, okay? And the fans that are patient, I don't know what they're thinking. I mean, the patience. How much more? It's been a decade since this team's hit the playoffs. A decade and counting. Decade and counting. 10 and counting. There's 10 and 11-year-olds here in Buffalo that don't know what the playoffs feel like. Parties in the plaza. Bringing the brooms to the game. On the fringe of a sweep or on the about to sweep somebody. Miller time. I mean, they don't know about any of that stuff because they haven't felt it. They've watched videos, but they don't get the goosebumps while they're watching the videos. They don't feel it. They don't feel it. They haven't had it. They haven't had the experience. And I don't know that Kevin Adams cares about that. Yes, does he want to get better? I think he's going about it the exact wrong way, though. The guys that we originally started, like the Dowling, they're getting older. You're going to be paying them eventually, and you're not using the window you have with the young talent you have, and infusing a veteran leadership number one, and skilled talent number two, and a good netminder number three to be able to take advantage of that window you have and that talent you have. Because eventually, when they come and they go, oh, we're ready to start signing guys. Oh, what do you know? You don't have much money because the guys that were young that you're supposed to use in the window, well, they're older now. Now you got to pay them. The Owen Powers, the Rasmus Dahlins. Who knows? Maybe the Victor Olofsson. He just got a deal, but Victor Olofsson. Jack Quinn's probably going to be coming up this year. Let's see how long they want to wait on him before they start putting some good talent around him. I don't know. I think they got excited last year like we all did, and they think that they've got what they need to be able to make it, and this team is just going to somehow propel into the fifth dimension and become a playoff team, and that's just not how it works. It's never worked like that. That's not how it works. Detroit knows it doesn't work like that. Detroit people want to compare our rebuild to Detroit quite often, right? And they went out and they signed players. They brought in good players. So, yeah, not impressed at all with the Sabres free agency. And the sad thing is, I tell myself, like, we're going to do a 30-minute podcast here. There's not 30 minutes worth to talk about. It's just discussed. I know a lot of fans, or I'll give you a portion of the fans don't agree with my view, and it's all about patience and blah, blah. I want to have a team that I can go and watch and enjoy. And the bullshit that I hear about, excuse my, language, but the bullshit I hear about, well, Kevin Adams is talking to Bean. He's listening to Brandon Bean. He's getting advice from Bean, so it's going to be okay. It's two different sports. What are you talking about? It's two completely different sports with two completely different development patterns. Is he calling Brandon Bean on draft night and say, "Hey, Brandon, what do you think?" No, he's not, because they'd be in over his head, just like Kevin Adams is in over his head with this job, number one, but in the Bills job. I don't know what waiting time or patience or credit the Sabres ownership management has earned. This franchise earned. What have they earned from us? It's been a decade plus and counting that we are waiting for a playoff a series, a game, something. It's extremely frustrating. It's just it's like the Bills made the playoffs, right? Like, now did they get a little lucky when they broke the drought? Of course they did. And the next year they didn't sign anybody, but no one gave a shit because they made the playoffs. And they took the talent they had in year one instead of stripping it to the fucking bare bones, and they took it to the playoff a visit, in a game. And we didn't care the next year, that they regressed. Who gives a shit? We knew it was going to happen. They were rebuilding. And the next year they built it back up. And yeah, I'm not comparing the NFL to the NHL, but just the way it feels for the fans, like it's just not good enough. Kevin Adams. It's not like they don't have money and they're trying to fight off bad contracts. I mean, these are the money is there. You had plenty of opportunity to put it. They could have put a team together this year that would have went to the playoffs. Simple as that. It's simple as that. And I don't want to hear shit about how he wants to build the young core. He signed Taylor Hall to a 1 year expensive deal, whatever it was. What was it, 6-7 million, something like that, 8 million. So you can't give me the line of he's listening to Bean. Bean didn't do that shit. What, year one, did he? No, he didn't. Who did he go on and sign year one to a big ass contract? Nobody. Given he wasn't there for free agent, there's a little bit of difference there, but um, I'm just fed up with it, guys. I'm gonna have a tough time filling up 30 minutes here with Sabres talk because I'm just so pissed about it. I don't know where to go with it. What do we have to look forward to? Oh, the rookie camp was exciting. Who gives a shit? We didn't make the playoffs. We're not gonna make the playoffs. It's the same thing year after year lately. Lately, half my damn life. 26. Sabres haven't made the playoffs since I was what, 13, 14 years old? This kid. They were going every year for a while. They're the best team in the league for a while. They were the team to beat. They were the hot ticket in town. I don't know. I think there was a streak of luck last year that we endured, and not endured, we enjoyed, and I don't know if it's gonna be the same this year. Because like all the people on Twitter with the patience, have the patience and do this and do that. I like to think a lot of times like, yeah, but like we need to fill that stadium. Like eventually, like if you're not filling the stadium or the arena and you're not like doing things like owners that are trying to make money because this is a business for them, like move to other markets and like all the patience in the world. I hope those patience people are the ones that are buying the tickets. I hope the people with you got to have patience and how dare you? I hope you're okay. Are you giving 60, $70 a night for a ticket? I'm not talking secondhand market either. And you say, oh, they're actually 10 to 12. No, secondhand market is cheap. Are you initially buying the tickets and putting the money back in the team's pocket? Not buying a recycled ticket that was already purchased and then saying, oh, yeah, I support the team. No, are you buying the tickets from I'm not saying anything against secondhand tickets. I buy them all the time. But I'm talking about, when you want to preach patience and you want to preach understanding, you want to preach loving your team. Are you buying the tickets or do you have season tickets? Because I see season ticket holders at a lot of games. I go to 10, 12 games a year, mini pack. Um, they're not happy. No, they're like, yeah, I think something good could be coming, but like we need to expedite it because we have the funds and the means to expedite it, and we're not doing that. So, people laugh at us, man. The rest of the league's happy laughing at us. I just want good hockey in town, man. Like, we're a hop and a skip from Toronto here in Buffalo, right? Like an hour and a half. It's just different there when it comes to hockey, man. Like you could just hear it in the crowd, and like I hate the Maple Leafs, right? But like hear it in the crowd. Like go just watch a game in Canada. I want to go to a game in Canada, but watch a game in Canada. Just like it's a different vibe, regardless if their team is good or not. Because Canadian teams try. They're always trying to get better. I don't know. One last thing I want to talk about before we close up, because like I said, I don't got 30 minutes for you. I'm just pissed. If you can't, excuse me, if you can't tell already, there were some rumors swirling around here about a possible trade scenario. They weren't like accredited, just like fan rumors mostly. But I wanted to talk about the situation a little bit because he is a very good player, and I like him a lot. And the Sabres aren't going to trade for it. If they stick to their plan, right, they're not going to trade for him. If they do, then it just shows how terrible Kevin Adams is as a GM. But let's go ahead and get it pulled up here. And that was about, I'll get into it here, just that was about Brady Kachuk. I saw it mentioned, talked about by among fans here. Um, you know, do the Sabres have what's needed to trade for him? Of course they do. They got first round picks. They got young prospects. They got young players that could play now. What does a package look like? I don't really know what a package looks like. I want to take a look at Mr. Kachuk's uh, stats real quick. I know them off, not off the top of my head, but I have an idea of what they look like off the top of my head. I just want to pull him up to see if he's actually as good as I think he is. I love Brady Kachuk. I really do. I'm going to take a peek here. Yeah, so we're looking at a guy that has put up 45 points his rookie year, in 71 games, 44 sophomore year, 56 his junior year, and this most recent year, 79 games, 67 points. But that's 30 goals, 37 assists. So he does a little bit of everything. -7 on a really bad Sens team. Um, Shooting percentage was 10-4 this year. That's good. 1 in 10 shots is a goal. He's about 50% on faceoffs. I'll take that. If Brady Kachuk is to be traded, I think we have the package, and we wouldn't have to be. It wouldn't be tearing apart what we already have because we have a ample amount of things to give up. Would they take something like a Jack Quinn in a first? We got to sign the guy. We still got to pay him, right? But do we think a Jack Quinn in the first gets it done? Now, do we want to go up Jack Quinn? I don't know. I think Jack Quinn straight up might honestly, if he's not going to sign there and they're not going to get a deal done, then you're getting something for essentially nothing if you wait too long. If you're the Senators. So does a deal like, we'll give you Jack Quinn straight up for Brady, and we sign him, right? It looks like the deal that the Sens are offering is 8 years, 8 years, $8 million a year. I get the point production, and it wasn't crazy like point per game or like that, but it's what he brings to the ice. He's an all around great hockey player. I think he is, and he reminds me a lot of Evander Kane. He's an aggressive player, but he's also a grinder. He also has that skill too, and he's a hell of a shot. I like him, man. I just think he's a really good hockey. He comes from a very, very, very good. The lineage cannot be ignored from the Kachuk family. There's current Kachucks in the league, and there are ex Canucks. Well, I guess they are Canucks, right? But ex Kachucks that are were in the league as well for long periods of time. Very good players. Um, I don't know, man. I'd love to trade Brady Kachuk. He'd be cool. Like that would really make up for like a lot of what that's like. You don't. I'm not saying, and this is just not to hammer down free agency, but like I'm not saying you need to add crazy pieces, but like make hockey fun again in Buffalo. Like the games are just so somber. They feel like preseason games. Like when I was growing up, games were sold out. If your parents like once a year, I would get a ticket right for my parents. Right, it's like we were like super rich, but like I get it like all right once a year you pick a game for your birthday, and it's like I would go there and be sold out. Like the vibe was almost as loud, if not louder, than Bills games. Like it just was different, and it's just not like that. The last time I felt that in the building was when the Sabres won like their 10th straight, I believe, against the Sharks. The year we traded for Jeff Skinner. Jeff Skinner scores in overtime, place is into a frenzy. Jack is smiling while Captain Jack's smiling while he's giving high fivers to everybody coming off the ice, all the guys coming off the ice, and I remember hearing a roar in the crowd, and I was like, "This is what it felt like." I haven't had that since. Maybe a little bit of that during the Eichel return game, during Jack's return game here last year, but nothing close to that. No, it's not even close. But Sabres fans, that's all I got for you now. If we make a big signing or a big trade in the next couple days, I'll come on. If not, plan on seeing my podcast next week. For now, you can follow me at @JDon'tFade. This week, coming this weekend, we'll be piloting and getting set up the Warpath Crossover podcast Twitter account, the Twitter handle. I'm going to go ahead and get that set up this weekend and get that a follow as well. For now, you can follow. It's down here in the bottom on the ticker. Follow me at Twitter at @JDon'tFade. I will be giving some betting picks out this week as well with baseball running back up. The All-Star game is just ending. I'm going to go ahead and take a peek at the score here. See if we won any cash. We did not win any cash on that one. 3-2. We had the over. Shit's rigged anyway. So I don't really bet on All-Star games. I didn't give any picks out this week for All-Star games because they're rigged generally. Well, they're rigged in selection because they don't select the best players. They just select the player from each team that they can. And of course, you'll get more from the better teams. But every team has to have a player essentially, it seems. And not every team deserves to have a player. So I don't even know if my team did the Orioles. We had some really good players. It's fringe all-star guys, but of course it's popularity contest. So what really matters in there is the Silver Slugger, Platinum Gloves, Gold Gloves, things like that. Those matter. Cy Young Awards, ERA titles, shit like that. But that's baseball. This is hockey. Either way, let's pray for better days. Sabres fans, it will get better eventually. It has to, right? Right? So for now, that's the At Warpath podcast, at Warpath Crossover podcast. My apologies. Give us a follow once we get that set up this weekend, and give me a follow at J Don't Fade, and we'll get you all your hockey news. For now, Sabres Nation, good rest, good night. Say a prayer for our Sabres.